Hello, everyone. Welcome to our meaningful conversation. Every Monday, Michael Williams, Aim, and I get together to have a conversation. And we wanted to share this conversation with everyone who are out there. People subscribe to my YouTube, people in on passive, people anywhere that how far this message can reach. And so today, Michael and I getting together and we want to bring up a topic that we wanted to talk about. Before that, Michael, if you could please say hello to everyone.
Well, hello everyone. Trust all is well. Trust everybody's keeping safe. Today's Monday. Great day, fun day. Let's roll, Julie.
Absolutely. Michael, you and I have been having this conversations for, I would say, over years, but we've known each other, for me, it's past almost 6 years. And there are so many people around the world who love this mission, who love this on passive vision. And we have been sharing so many values, in particular, our conversation here. But the question for the people that, let's say, they've been following us, they've been watching, they've been following on passive, they will still have a question of saying, how do we know that on passive will work? I mean, that's a question that a lot of people probably continue to have or will have or going to have very shortly. So, as you and I've been on passive for you over 6 years, for me, it's approaching that time. We know how on passive work, and we wanted to share that with people. And we'll probably could take everything that we've been saying in the past year, almost 2 years that you and I have this conversation together. We could take all of that and impact it, really pack it together and put it in this conversation. For me, is how do we know on passive work, Michael? It's just common sense, Michael.
Common sense. Oh wow, that's a phrase that a lot of people like to use, but unfortunately, Julie, uh, it's not as common as people think. you know, um, here's the thing. Over the years, and this is one of the reasons why OnPassive even got started, is that people have been trying for so long, Julie, right? I've met people that told me, for 40 years they've been trying this and try to, get success and all of that. 30 years, 20 years, right? People have been trying for some time, to make it, right? To become successful at some business venture. If they join company A, they join company B, company C, all these things that they've done. And it's always problematic, right? It comes back to, they trust in a particular company only for the company to just disappear on them. They put a lot of time and effort into businesses and, only for that business to fail, and nothing to do with them. They were committed, they were willing to put the work in, and, just didn't work out, right? Then you have those who actually join a legitimate business. But in order to make money, you have to sell, right? And we've, spoken about this so many times. It's a very difficult thing for people to sell. It doesn't matter how great the product is. It just doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter how great the product is. Majority of people just cannot sell it, right? Uh, think of any product that you think is, fantastic. I mean, everybody loves an iPhone, right? Okay, how many people can actually go out there and sell that product to others where they can make a living from it, right? We all drive cars, or at least a lot of us, drive a vehicle. Okay, but why is it that, car salespeople are not successful, right? Overall, some are, right? But it's a high turnover job, right? People come, people go, people come, people go, because it is not easy to sell, right? And you have the other businesses where, you have to refer other people to come in to also sell, in order to build a network, and all of that. And people have a hard time doing that, Julie, right? So there are great businesses out there. The problem is that regular folks, which is the majority of us, cannot do what is required in order to succeed. Just can't. It doesn't matter the cost. You can find here, this is $10 a month for this business, right? They still can't sell the products, right, from that particular company. Oh, it's $100 a month, $1,000. It doesn't matter whether the cost is low, whether the cost is high, whether it's medium. It doesn't matter about the cost. The product doesn't matter. The cost doesn't matter. It comes back to skills. People don't have the necessary skills to sell, period, right? That's what it boils down to. So how do we know ONPASSIVE is going to work? Because it's not required, Julie, right? It does not depend upon you knowing how to sell, right? Because we've tried that. We've put together systems, Julie. We say, here you go, right? This is simple. Just follow exactly what I've shared with you. Just do it the way that I've shown you how to do it. They still can't succeed, Julie. You know what I mean? There's always something, whether people give up too easy, right? Whether, the success doesn't come fast enough. You know what I mean? There's always something as to why people just don't get it. But the bottom line is, in ONPASSIVE, that gets eliminated. Right? It's not about you and I being great salespeople. It's not about you and I being able to build, networks and all of that. It isn't about that, right? We're going to have great products, great company, right? Great people, right? Our CEO, a man with a big heart that didn't have to do any of this, right? But he actually found a solution. He found a way to make everyone, all of us, to become successful by eliminating the things that we are just not good at. It doesn't mean that there's no work, Julie. It doesn't mean that there's no sales. It doesn't mean that there's no products. Absolutely the opposite, right? There's products that need to be sold to consumers. But you know what, though? You can use technology to make all of that happen. That's one of the reasons, okay? Because it's not the only reason, but it's a very big reason as to why we know that ONPASSIVE will allow all of us to succeed.
I love it. And with that one reason, we know it's a winner, right? With that one reason. And we can always come back to CATMO, right? We always come back to CATMO. That is the purpose, right? We wanted to come back to it because with CATMO, with one single sign-on to a complete digital solution that has all the products that automatically using artificial intelligence to drive targeted traffic to all the businesses around the world. It doesn't matter what business, small, medium, large businesses. If we have a complete digital solutions, automatically running, driving the traffic, which is the most vital piece of a business, we make money. If that's and that's why understanding CATMO, it's so important to me. Understanding the business, it's just because what you have been saying, we have to sell, we have to create products, we don't have access to everything. Nowadays we don't have access to a complete digital solutions. Everything that we need to do a video, everything we need to complete the organization or creating of our business, we need several things. But we have to grab it in different area. It's not in one place. But because of ONPASSIVE with a complete digital solutions, automatically running using artificial intelligence, and that technology is building from scratch, from the heart, to give people the opportunity to join in or to be part of something that is monumental. And that's why I said, Michael, it is common sense in my mind.
Well, it's common sense, Julie, because the tools that people need to succeed are there.
Yes.
They're there. Okay.
One place.
But outside of ONPASSIVE, the tools that people need to succeed are there. I mean, there are people online right now that are making money. Like people wonder, well, I guess nobody online is making money, right? Of course they are, right? People decide to create a YouTube channel. Yeah, some people are making a full time income from that, from being a YouTuber. But the majority of people are not, Julie, right? Right? The majority of people are not. You have people on TikTok. Yeah, you have some folks who are doing great on TikTok. You understand? You have affiliate marketers that are out there, right? And so, they're able to sell online, right? Without going to family and friends, they're able to sell online, and so they're successful. But the vast majority of people are not, Julie, right? And it goes back to what I just said earlier, right? You brought up Capmo, right? And so I'll pull out the targeted traffic part of it. Okay, so I'm an affiliate marketer. I go and I grab a product and I want to go sell that product. Okay, but there are some things that I need to have in place in order for sales to be generated, right? Okay, a website. What's going to be the content, right? So I have to create that content, Julie, right? Okay, am I a content creator? You know what I mean? Do I know how to write good sales copy, right? All these different things that people need in order to succeed. It's there. Okay, well, I'm going to get Chat GPT and let it write the content. You know what I mean? People can do all of this. But at the end of the day, they can't put it together, Julie, right? And if they manage to get a wonderful website, now they got to drive traffic, right? They have to drive. Where do you get the traffic from, right? Where do you get that traffic from? A person was on YouTube. How in the world do you get people, millions upon millions upon millions of people to actually watch your videos? You understand? How do you get that? Why is it that some people, right? You see some channels, million, 10 million, 50 million, right? As far as views go, you understand? But it's not just the views. We know there's more to it than that. Okay, they get paid based upon ad space, right? You got to be ads running. People have to actually watch the ads, right? We know a lot of people just skip ads. Okay, some of them are skippable and so on. The point is, the tools are there for people to succeed, but then here comes the knowledge. They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the know-how, Julie. They can't put it all together. Some people can't even know how to even function with a proper email. And you understand? There's so much that is there that people need, and they're unable to do it. Most people have no clue how to drive not just any traffic, but targeted traffic. Where do I go to find people that's looking for what I have to offer? Because I have to find people that's looking for that, Julie. Otherwise, I have to go through so many contacts in order to find the ones that were actually interested, right, in what I'm offering. But if I can narrow that down, if I can use technology, if I can use software to eliminate, right, the tire kickers, the one that's just wasting, that's going to be wasting, my ad credits, if you wish, right? How do I do all of that? How can I make that happen, right? And this is the challenge that people are faced with, Julie. They go join company ABC, right, and they have to drive traffic, and they have no idea where to get the traffic from. You understand? That's the problem that people are having, right? So you have the side of putting it all together, right? And then you have the other side of making sure traffic goes. And then you have to make sure that the information that they're getting is actually, encouraging them to buy. Because if you get all the traffic in the world, Julie, if nobody's buying from your website, right? If nobody's buying your offer, then obviously you're not making any money, right? So what's the point? There are people spending hundreds of thousands of dollars online, but that's because they're producing results. They're making money from that, though. How many people have hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend, Julie? Most people have a few bucks to put towards something, right? They don't even have enough advertising budget. They don't even budget that in the equation, Julie. They don't factor that in the equation. You understand? So there's so much to it. This is why you need a company, not just a single individual, but a company that's going to have the resource, that's going to have the know-how, that's going to be able to put it all together for you in one-stop shop, a single place where you can invite people in, okay? You can invite people in via the traffic that is provided, right? And those people can now take a look and see what is there, and eventually they'll find something that they're looking for, Julie. They will find something. And as long as they find something that they're looking for and they pay for it, they purchase it, guess what? That now constitutes a sale. You now have generated some sort of income. You understand? And this happens over and over and over and over and over again, Julie. So over time, you can see your business growing. Over time, you can see there's more revenue being generated inside your business. And all of that can be done in an automated fashion, Julie. That's the beauty about it, because there's no point in spending all this time to make the money and then there's no more time left over to enjoy the money. It makes no sense. And we see a lot of people have done that even in traditional businesses, where they put so much time and effort into it and they never get to actually enjoy, you know, what they've done. They don't get to enjoy their work. So there's no point in that. That's why we always talk about total freedom, Julie, right? Total freedom. We want to be able to have walk away money. We want to be able to have a business whereby it can all be set up, right? The whole flow, you understand? Here's the system. Here comes the traffic into that system, right? Directing people, targeted people to look at what you're offering, and some of those people are going to buy. And you just keep repeating that process over and over and over again, Julie. That does not exist. People tell you, oh, here's a business in a box, and they forget to give you traffic. Wait, how is it a business in a box, right? I want everything that I need to succeed. I want it all inside that box. And that's what OnPassive, provides for people, Julie.
Absolutely. Well said, Michael. And one of the things that I see in OnPassive that way so different from the nowadays that we are experiencing, the reality is that, everywhere around the world, you can see that people are treating people in a way of, we are the object, we are the numbers, we are the money, we are the we're not real human being, because it seems like, and I'm very sure you and I have experienced that in our own life. We experience it with the companies or with parties that we've been working with. Everybody is an object. Everybody is the number to them. Every day they're looking for how many people we can get into whatever that they are doing. But in OnPassive, each and every one of us are a human being, right? The things that the company is putting together, the things that the products are putting together with human beings in life, in place, in their mind, not the number. It's not about how many people I can bring into the company. It's about how my products effectively using for other people that involved within that company. And I think, not that I know that it's very important, because each and every one of us feel very special and very different, the way how we are being here together, how our life has drastically changed in the past years. Do you see the same?
Absolutely. You go to an event, a basketball game, 20,000 people, and you look around, you're like, man, if I can just get $1 from each of these individuals inside there. That's how companies treat us. You understand? That's how they treat us, right? They look and says, what can I put together to pull $1 from this one, $10 from that one, $50 from that one, 1,000, right? That's how they see us, Julie. They don't really care about us. They don't want to know how our day was. They want to know how we're doing. They don't want to care to know about our family. It's not personal, right? It's just dollars and cents. It's transactional, right? And that's what happens out there in the marketplace. OnPassive says, well, you can make money, but it doesn't have to be transactional, right? Because here's the thing. If we help people, Julie, like really help people, right? Give people what it is that they want, right? Help them. Put them in a position where they're able to take care of themselves and their family, right? So in other words, empower them, right? So that not only will they just look at themselves and their family, but they want to reach outside of themselves. They want to reach out to their community. They want to help their neighbors. They want to be able to help others, Julie, to be in similar situation whereby they are now empowered, right? To be able to do good. Think about that. Think about the 8 billion people on this planet, right? Yes, we know you got children and all of that stuff, but if you pull it out and just look at the ones that were 18 years old or older, right? And if you were to empower every single one of these individuals so that, you know what, money's no longer an issue. You know what I mean? That like they're okay. Again, we're not saying they're rich or millionaires or any of that stuff, but that they're okay. They got a good roof over their head. They've got, food on their table. You know what I mean? They got clothing on their backs. You know what I mean? Like their basic necessities, clean water, basic is just taken care of. So they're good. And what they do from there now, well, that's up to them. But if you can just provide just that alone for every single person on this planet, Julie, this world will be a much better place. It really would be, right? And that's a lofty goal, right? It is. You know what I mean? But is it possible? Is it doable? Absolutely it is, because there's more than enough for everybody, right? There's more than enough. You don't need $50 billion, $100 billion, $10 billion, even $1 billion. You don't need that, Julie. You understand? There are people that, worth, $1 million, let's say, and they're living a good life. You understand? So it can be done, but who's willing to do it? ONPASSIVE says, you know what? We are willing to take the risk. We are willing to put ourselves out there, especially our CEO and his family, right? We will go out there and we will do what we need to do to make sure this gets done. Not done for us, not done for me and my family, right? But done for as many people as possible all around the world. Not just for people in the United States, not just for people in Canada, but around the world and all the continents, Julie, to be able to reach out and touch every single person and give them something, Julie, for them to hold on to, give them hope. Right now, we live in a world where so many people have lost hope. They think like there is just no chance because they've tried at so many different things and nothing has worked for them, right? And so when they look around and they says, wow, now all these different catastrophes that's going on, whether it's wildfires, whether it's flooding, all sorts of stuff that's happening around the world. And people are looking for a solution and they just can't seem to find a financial solution. They just can't seem to find one. Everywhere they turn is corruption. Everywhere they turn is just somebody trying to get over on them, right? And then here's ONPASSIVE saying, hey, we are the difference maker. Mm-hmm. Come. Check us out. We are different. You understand? And when it's all said and done, Julie, when it's all said and done, people are going to be shaking their heads saying, wow, I was a part of that. Wow, I got introduced to ONPASSIVE and it has changed my life for the better. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to happen when it's all said and done. You understand? Right? And so it takes time, Julie. Yes, we've been going at it for 6 years. Okay? But to build a true successful legacy, doesn't happen overnight. Doesn't happen overnight. And so if you're 50 years old, if you're 60 years old, if you're 70 years old, if you're 40 years old, okay? Well, that's a lot of years. That's a lot of years. 6 years, you're a baby, right? You understand? Like, just from a human point of view, right? Yep. 6 years, you're a baby, okay? So our business, right? Our business ONPASSIVE, okay, is still young, right? Young in the sense of, are we looking for a 6-year business? Are we looking for a 10-year business? Or do we want something that's going to be here, for as long as possible, 20, 30, 40 years? So if you're looking for something for that long, well, what is 6 years, right? And as far as I'm aware of it, you have less than around maybe 10,000 people that's been in it for 6 years, right? And we have over 1.4, right, account holders. So, it's a small amount of people that's been in it for 6 years. It's still a small amount of people who've been in it for 5 years, Julie, right? The bulk of the people have been here, for 2 to 3 years. You understand? The bulk of the people, right? So at the end of the day, when we're looking at it from a business standpoint and from a time frame standpoint, right, It's still young. We're still in the infancy phase of ONPASSIVE. When we get to that next phase, Julie, that's when people are going to see the light, right? That's when it's going to be that aha moment. Now I get it. Now I understand what this is all about. And it was well worth the wait. It was well worth the wait. Because as long as people accomplish whatever they're looking for, right? As long as they're able to accomplish, what they came into ONPASSIVE for, then the time doesn't matter, right? It just doesn't. You know what I mean? What's the point in getting married, Julie? And man, those 2 years was fantastic, only to get divorced. You understand? No, right? We know that a successful marriage is going to be ups, there's going to be downs, and all of that, right? But it's okay. Can we stand the test of time? Can we be here for 40, 50, 60, 70 years, till death do us part? Can we have that type of a relationship, right? And so it's the same that goes for our business. We want to have a business that's going to be here, that's going to stand the test of time. We go through this change, that change, adjustment, issue, problem solving, all of those things combined, put together so that we have something that is lasting. That's what I'm looking for, and I know that's what you're looking for. And the majority of us, that's what we came here for. Not for a quick fix, but for something that is lasting, because that's what's rewarding and fulfilling, Julie, when it's all said and done.
Absolutely, Michael. And the answer for the question, can you stand the test of time, takes patience, but also it takes trust, commitment, and loyalty. From both sides, from the company, from Mr. Mufareh, from all of us around the world. I did a session with Comfort in terms of trust, commitment, and loyalty, and I really did lay out where the commitment and where the trust and loyalty is laying in the past 6 years. If you haven't watched that clip, go to Comfort channel to actually take a look at it. But I wanted to bring this point up here because I want to hear your thought on that. We all started with a connection. A first connection was watching and listening to Mr. Mufareh's audio. And then from there on, he is building the trust from the people that listen, and we are building that trust by watching him along the way. And up until this point, we are at a times right now is where the loyalty's been tested on both sides. We can see that Mr. Ash Mufareh has committed to us, has stayed loyal to his vision, to his purpose, to what he's putting out, and to what he has been saying the past year. And now it comes to ourselves, the loyalty. Where is our loyalty laying right now, where we are today? And that's why, because of that commitment and that loyalties that we have, and that's why I see and we know how ONPASSIVE works. What about you, Michael?
Yeah, for sure. Loyalty is not an easy thing, right? Especially in today's climate. You know what I mean? Loyalty, because usually it's all about the dollars. You know what I mean? You work for a particular company. Oh, another company offers you more money. Oh, I'm gone. See you. Bye. You know what I mean? But this was the company that gave you your start. You know what I mean? They brought you into the game. They took care of you, right? And people, no, I'm gone. Over here is offering me more money. I'm taking that deal, right? You're a athlete, and you have a contract. Right? You know what I mean? Well, nope, I need more money. I'm worth more than this, so pay me more. You don't pay me more, I'm gone, right? Loyalty is something that you rarely find in today's climate, and it's unfortunate, right? It's unfortunate because to me, you want to build relationships upon loyalty. You know what I mean? Because it's not always good times, right? It's not always good times. It doesn't matter what the relationship is, right? Don't matter what the situation is. It's not always good times. Life just doesn't work that way. You don't, you're born and then it's just been good times, good times, good times, good times, good times, all the way until you die. It just doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? You start to ride a bicycle, you fall down, you get bruises, but you get back up and you go on it, and eventually, guess what? Now you can ride a bicycle without even thinking about it, right? It's not a thought. You get on a skateboard, same thing. You know what I mean? Right? All these different things, all these different things that you experience in life, right? You get into a relationship and you break up. Okay, you have heartaches, pain, whatever. You know what I mean? But again, you don't stop right there. You move on to the next one, right? And so on and so forth. You get a job and you get fired or something. Okay, you don't stop looking for a job. You know what I mean? You go find another one, right? Ups and downs. You buy a home, you lose your home. Okay, you go buy another one, right? Whatever. You get a car, you get in a car accident. You know what I mean? Life just isn't good times, good times, good times, happy, 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 smile, smile, smile. That's not life. You understand me? Right? So we go through ups and downs in our lives. And the same thing happened with businesses, right? You have companies that are out there who've been around for 20, 30 years, and they've gone through cycles. You know what I mean? People invest in the stock market. Guess what? It goes through cycles also. It goes up, it goes down. There are times when it crashes, you know what I mean? But guess what? It also bounces back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Right? Currencies, US dollar or Canadian dollar or whatever, goes through cycles. Sometimes it's strong, sometimes it's weak, and so on and so forth, right? That's life. And so people have to understand that. I think people get involved in business and they have the wrong mindset, just thinking that, oh, it's just supposed to just shoot up and never come back down, and that's not true. And so now what we see is that, yes, sometimes your loyalty will be tested. You know what I mean? And so do you give up or do you continue to press forward? Do you persevere? Do you continue to be patient? Do you continue to trust? Right? And so if you had trusted from the very beginning, when you heard those 2 audio tapes from our CEO, right? If you had trusted the person who invited you in, okay, what has changed? Right? The mission is still the same. The vision is still the same. Okay. Yes, you make adjustments along the way, but as I said earlier, as long as you get to the desired goal, that's what matters. So all the more reason to continue to stay loyal, right? Because we're onto something. We're onto something that everyone is looking for. Everyone is looking for. So imagine now here you come with the finished product, right? Here's the finished product, here's the finished system, and everyone is looking for it. Why? Because everything else that they're doing is not working. Isn't working. You know what I mean? Just not working. As far as trying to make money, isn't working. Even your job isn't working. Because if your job was working, you wouldn't be looking for something else.
That's right.
You wouldn't be looking for something on the side. You understand? If your job was enough. Right? So we see that everything that we know, right? Everything that we've experienced, all of that comes together to put us in a position when we see something, we can identify that, wait a minute, this thing is different. Why are all these people so excited about ONPASSIVE? They're not even making any money, right? People get excited, Julie, all of a sudden, oh yeah, I made $10,000 last month. Oh, I made $5,000 last month. And they're all excited, right? People in ONPASSIVE are excited and still passionate about this company. Why? Because we know, Julie, we know that it is going to work. It's not, well, maybe it's going to work, if it's going to. No, we know it's going to work. Because when you look at all of the pieces, look at all the components, right? What does this business consist of? You look at all the pieces, and then you see that, yes, the framework is there. Yes, it's common sense, as you have stated, Julie, right? It all makes sense. And so that's why we are loyal, because we know that there isn't anything else. There just isn't. I can give you something, but guess what? You're going to have to refer people. You're going to have to make sales and all. And what's going to happen, right? What's going to happen? Are you really going to succeed with it? Some people succeed, but the vast majority just don't. And so what we're talking about here in ONPASSIVE, right, is to be able to have something, provide something, offer something to people whereby they will succeed. Not if they will succeed, not maybe. You understand? They will succeed. Why? Because work has to be done, but it doesn't have to be done by you. You who lack the ability to drive traffic, you who lack the ability to make sales, you who lack the ability to put together systems, you who lack ability to be able to create products, Julie. You understand? All these things we lack. ONPASSIVE says that's okay. Why? Because we have you covered. Although you lack the ability to drive traffic, we can drive traffic. Although you lack the ability to create products, we can create products. Although you lack the ability to put together an ecosystem, we can do that. You understand? That's why OnPassive makes sense, Julie. That's why it makes sense, and that's why we know it's going to work.
There you have it, everyone. That just wrapped it up. That this is how we know that OnPassive is going to work, right? In the past 35 minutes, we have covered that. So to me, again, it all makes sense. It's all common sense,
Common
right?
sense.
It's all common sense. So if you were listening to the past 35 minutes at what we were talking about, you will still see it if you have common sense. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Michael. Great session. I just really love it. Looking forward for the next time. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Julie.